Now on Coast TV News.
Bridge backed up. Southbound coastal highway closed this evening as state police investigate a car crash. Housing Help, a Georgetown committee, works to address homelessness in town, how that committee plans to approach a sensitive issue. And missing mail. People in Bethel say their post office is hardly ever open, where they're being redirected, and the U.S. Postal Service's response.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Christina DeRobertis. We're beginning tonight with breaking news out of Lewes. Multiple fire departments are on the scene of a water rescue near Red Mill Pond tonight. We do have a crew on the scene right now, and we're going to take a look at this video picture that we have here. Right now, we're lacking many details, but you might have heard sirens around Lewes Milton tonight. This is where those first responders were heading. Take a look here. This is by Edgewater Drive in Lewes. Again, that's near Red Mill Pond. Multiple agencies were called out to the scene. Really, this is all we know at the moment. They were called out for a water rescue. It is unclear if someone is hurt, unclear if someone is in the water there, but we will stay on top of this story and let you know an update when more information becomes available. Again, we have a crew on the scene right now. You can see some first responders, a rescue boat in the water in Red Mill Pond there right now. So we will be following this story tonight. We will keep our crew on the scene there, and we will come back to this if any new developments happen there in Lewes tonight. We're going to move on now to the Indian River Inlet Bridge. This is what drivers there were dealing with tonight. Delaware State Police say a crash closed part of Coastal Highway southbound tonight. Limited details on that crash as well. DSP says the road has since reopened, but you can see the bridge pretty backed up there earlier tonight. This was around 9 p.m. Most of it should be clear now, but we will also be following this incident and let you know as soon as more details become available about what crash happened there on Coastal Highway this evening. Now we go to Georgetown, where the first meeting for the Georgetown Supportive Housing Issues Committee was. That happened this evening, and Coast TV photojournalist Matt Hipsman, he was there and shows us how the committee is planning to address homelessness in town.
Georgetown's changed a lot, and I've been here 8 years now, and it's really made a lot of changes, some for the good, some for the bad. But we do need to find a better way to help our neighbors and help those who are struggling, and help raise their quality of life.
One of the main takeaways is the education, the transparency. You know, there are, with the transitional houses, with the recovery houses, with the Springboard Village, there's a lot of different takeaways that people may have based on assumptions that may not actually be what's actually happening.
Take away some of the stigma of the homelessness. They need to establish bank accounts. Without a bank account, without a work history, with possible past criminal records, landlords tend to look down on them and not want to rent to them. If we can do away with that stigma, or at least help them overcome that and get them into permanent housing, it'll go a long way towards solving the homelessness problem in the Georgetown area, in the state of Delaware.
What we're looking to do is optimize the services that are here, not create new services that may or may not address problems that could be addressed by just the facilities and organizations that are here if they're properly optimized.
People achieving certain goals in life and being able to show progress in life, where perhaps their family, who may have turned their back on them, is now willing to accept them back and say, look at the progress you've made, look at the steps you've taken.
Now we're looking live outside into Lewes, and our first alert chief meteorologist Paul Williams is going to join us with a check on the forecast. Paul, it feels kind of chilly out there.
Yeah, and that's probably hampering the rescue effort that's happening right now with the breaking story we had at the top of the newscast. And the water temperatures are now starting to drop rather rapidly as well. So it's really cold out there at this present time. And if something breaks, of course, we'll give you guys an update on what's happening there. What's happening meteorologically speaking, we have temperatures staying in the low 50s with increasing cloud cover. Now, we are going to continue to be mindful of the possibility of a bit of coastal flooding that could possibly keep going until we get to Friday morning. Now, also, we have some very gusty winds. Small craft advisory is in effect for us right now, and it stays in effect until Friday at 6 o'clock. And we have that small craft advisory also active from Ocean Pines all the way down towards Chincoteague. And then actually we still have an increased concern for beach hazard statement that's in effect for Ocean City as well as West Ocean City. So that, with a combination of more in the way of sunshine, will warm up as we go into the weekend. We'll talk more about your full forecast coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you, Christina.
Paul, thank you. Well, some Delaware gas customers could see a major jump in their monthly bills this fall. Delmarva Power is proposing a 43% increase to its gas cost rate, while Chesapeake Utilities is asking for a 30% hike. If approved, typical customers could pay between $11 and $16 more per month starting November 1st. A Delaware public advocate calls the increases dramatic, but says there's limited ability to fight them. This map on your screen shows where a planned shopping center would go along Route 24 on the corner of Mulberry Knoll Road. That's near Beacon Middle School. It would be a 695,000 square foot development. Ben Hoskins, the developer of the Atlantic Fields project, says if the shopping mall gets denied, they still plan to build houses of some sort there. Single-family homes, workforce, and affordable housing are all on the table, according to the developer. Now, in order for the mall proposal to move forward, the land needs to be rezoned from agricultural residential to commercial. Wednesday, the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission deferred a decision for the second time. Yesterday's decision was because all of the planning and zoning members were not at the meeting. One man we spoke to that lives across the street is open to the houses, but not so much the mall.
I think the idea of shifting away from a C4 with a huge mall that's going to just cause havoc, for this particular area here and other parts of Sussex County. I think this is a good move.
Now, October 15th is the next time this will be heard in front of the Sussex County Planning and Zoning. That would be the third time total. Planning and Zoning will make a decision, and then that decision has to go to the Sussex County Council for their final say. And we'll go now to our Coast TV poll tonight. We want to know how you think Planning and Zoning should vote on Atlantic Fields. Let's look at the results. 39% say they should approve it. 56% say they should deny it. 4% think downsize. 1% say they should delay for longer. And it's not too late to vote. We really want to know what you think on this proposal, so head over to coasttv.com, use our mobile app. You can vote and you can leave a comment. Nearly 100 animals were found living in what the Office of Animal Welfare described as deplorable conditions, and it was an animal rescue where these animals were found. The saved animals now at the Brandywine Valley SPCA in Georgetown, where they're receiving care. Authorities say the animals belonged to this man, Mark Potomi, founder of Pets and Wildlife Sanctuaries.
So on scene, it was shocking to say the least. So we're doing, the absolute best by these animals to make sure that they have what they need, and ultimately that we give them the care that they deserve.
And now that the animals are safe and they're receiving care, the Brandywine Valley SPCA is urging the public to help by fostering, adopting, or donating. Missing mail is a problem in Bethel, Delaware. Neighbors there say they've been having trouble getting mail from their post office for the last few weeks. At the post office today, the window was closed, you can see, despite the listed hours saying it should have been open today. Neighbors say the post office is rarely staffed. Some folks tell us they've also had many packages returned to sender or sent to different addresses.
They're not getting their packages. They're not getting their mail delivered to their residence or to their P.O. box. And they're paying for the service that either through a P.O. box or through their taxes. So they want their service.
A representative from the U.S. Postal Service says it is working to address staffing problems, and any neighbors having issues should visit the Laurel Post Office or report any concerns to the Postal Service directly. Well, the government shutdown has led to uncertainty for so many Americans who work for the federal government, and even for those who work for nonprofits who rely on the federal government to support their programs. The Food Bank of Delaware being one such organization. Reporter Tim Furlong spent the day there. He has more.
You can get a can of the diced tomatoes.
The team at the Food Bank of Delaware's Newark headquarters doing what they do every day.
And then you have one of the chicken breasts.
Yeah, they just keep getting food to those who need it. It has gotten tougher and tougher to do, though, since the start of this year with USDA and other program cuts.
So the word uncertain, I don't know that in my whole entire life I've used it as much as I've used it this past year. So we're kind of getting used to uncertainty.
The uncertainty has just gotten even worse with this shutdown. They believe SNAP benefits should be okay for October, but no clue what'll happen after that. And then the team here is, of course, worried about the federal workers who are either furloughed or working without pay.
Just a couple days into the shutdown, federal workers probably aren't feeling the pinch too badly just yet, but the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to get for these people to pay their bills, and that might be when they need to come to the food bank.
So if you're a federal worker and need the help, don't hesitate to ask the Food Bank of Delaware for it. And if you happen to be doing okay and can make a donation to the food bank, they'd love to hear from you as well. They distributed a record-setting 20 million meals in the last fiscal year, which is a great accomplishment, but also a very sad reminder that the need for their services continues to grow. There are still far too many hungry families in our region.
We use a term that I'm not fond of, but the working poor. You know, folks that are actually working 2 and 3 jobs and they can't make ends meet. Everything's too expensive.
Got everything?
Yeah.
All right.
Now we are just getting started this evening. Coming up ahead, a Bay Health expansion. What's planned for the hospitals in both Kent and Sussex counties? But first, from strangers to instant friends, how 2 young women who met just a few months ago have now built a growing community across coastal Delaware. That's next.
The Bay forecast, we have high pressure and control of our weather, so we're all going to be under the auspices of clearer skies. We'll have your full forecast coming up in 60 seconds.
Making friends can be tough at any stage of life, especially young adulthood. But for 2 women in Delaware, they're trying to change that. They're getting women together for a walking club. In this week's Coastal Connections, Elisa Weber shows us what these 2 women have done with the Beach Babes Walking Club.
You would think Samantha and Cameron have been friends for years, but they only met this past May when Cameron was looking to connect after moving to Delaware from Pennsylvania. Samantha was also new to the first state, ironically from Pennsylvania too.
So I actually saw Sam post a video on TikTok, and I saw she was in the area, so I reached out. I was like, hey, you want to grab dinner? Kind of just trying to meet friends. So it was a little girl date that we went on at Nalu, and that night was the history for us.
The second time they hung out, Samantha and Cameron started planning a walking group for women, believing they weren't the only ones looking to meet new people. And in June 2025, Beach Babes Walk Club officially hit the ground walking.
We really were just craving a girlhood and a community, so that's kind of what Beach Babes is about. Literally, people would just come up and they were like, I came here alone, I was so nervous, and like I really feel that, and I'm like proud of them for showing up, because that's like really the first step you have to take to make friends and like connection, and that's all you have to do is just show up.
The club is free. All you have to do is show up, and women in all phases of life are welcome.
We had college age girls come, and up to even moms, 30, 40 years old. Like, everyone's welcome. So it was just a great range of people, and we have girls bring like their dogs, their kids. It's amazing.
What started as a twice-a-month event has grown into a weekly gathering, sometimes held on both Saturday and Sunday as word spread and demand increased. Even though summer has come to an end, Beach Babes has no plans of stopping.
We are looking to make a branch off of the walk club just for girls who don't necessarily want to walk, or it's maybe too cold to walk. So we're looking at making a social club of some sorts. No like names or anything yet, but that will entail just things we can do to meet up. Like, think bonfires on the beach, winery days with the girls, just like a bunch of fun activities to really get to know each other better. and do just like fun activities with the seasons, like fall, winter, lots to look forward to.
If you would like to join the 302 Beach Babes, all you have to do is pull out your phone, go on their Instagram, and find the next time and location for their walk. For Coastal Connections, I'm Elisa Weber.
We are back now with an update on the breaking news that we told you about at the top of the newscast. We're told a car actually drove into the water at Red Mill Pond, and that is what those first responders are searching for in the water right now. You can see we have a live picture. We have our crew still on the scene. First responders still seem to be searching in the water right now. Again, the details are limited, but someone from the Lewes Fire Department has confirmed to us a car went into the water. It looks like we can actually see that car in this live picture right now. Unclear if somebody was in the car at the moment, if that person is still in the water, if they are searching for a person still in the water, but it's still a very active scene right now. We did reach out to Delaware State Police, who say they are also investigating what happened here in Lewes. Again, this is near Edgewater Drive near Red Mill Pond. Our crew is going to stay out there. You can see the car, it seems, there in the pond. Our crew, again, will stay out there. We will stay on top of this and bring you any updates as we learn more, but that is the latest, that there is a car in the water right now. First responders are searching the area. Now we're going to send it over to Paul Williams.
So we take a look in Lewes. We're at 51 degrees at this present time. Winds are staying calm, moving primarily out of the north. We're going to stay in the 50s for the rest of the night. Now, we are in the 40s actually in Long Neck, 49 degrees right now there, 48 in Harrington, 49 in Redden. We're at 51 degrees right now in Georgetown. Now, overall, we are still looking at relatively calm winds for us throughout the inland areas. We have winds pushing out of the east at about 15 to 16 miles per hour for the Indian River Inlet. Overall, come on, Paul, there we go. Overall, we're looking for it to continue to stay pretty quiet for the rest of the night. Now, we do have a coastal flood advisory that's going to stay in effect until Friday morning at 4 o'clock. Now, this is for the folks, and really this is really galvanizing around the high tide for the Cambridge area, as well as over towards Trapp, Cornerstone, and Madison. Now, we were initially concerned about that for portions of Sussex County, but that's been allowed to expire. Small craft advisory is active for us until 6 o'clock on Friday. From Lewes, Rehoboth down to Ocean View and Fenwick Island. Now, we're still looking at about, say, 25 mile per hour wind gusts. That's a big step away from the gale wind warning we had just yesterday and the day before yesterday as well. Beach hazard is still active for us until 8 o'clock Friday evening for Ocean City, Golf Club Shores, Ocean Pines, and those areas. Because the winds are still very active and vibrant and causing some crashing of the waves, we're watching out for the possibility of erosion complications along with some possible rip currents. But overall, this alignment right here throughout the Northeast, we're starting to see the winds back out and back off as Imelda continues to move deeper out into the Atlantic. 70 degrees, Lewes, 70 in Laurel. We're looking at the same expectation for us in Cambridge. Winds are going to push out of the east at about 6 to 13 miles per hour. You see, along the coast, we're looking for the winds out of the east and the northeast. 71 in Lewes and Dewey Beach, with 68 for the high, with morning clouds in Rehoboth Beach, 69 for Ocean City, as well as Bethany Beach. So 6 o'clock in the morning, we see this cloud streaming through. But then as we go into the afternoon, we see a break in the sky, but not going to change the temperature by much. And this is below the norm for this time of the year. About 77, 78 is where we should be. Saturday morning, we start off near 50, if not slightly below that. But we'll start off clear and we'll end up clearer, so that'll allow us a chance to jump a little bit closer to the norm for the high for this time of the year. Temperatures will then end up by Saturday evening into the upper 60s. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. The update on the forecast goes like this. Listen, we're looking for sunshine big time over the weekend, and we should get to about 80 degrees by Monday, 83 on Tuesday. And then another round of rain will kick in by next Wednesday and next Thursday.
Okay, thank you, Paul. And it looks like it's going to be a good weekend for Country Calling in Ocean City. Businesses and hotels say this year's Oceans Calling was a big success, and they're ready for the next music festival, which starts tomorrow. Oceans Calling, again, it was a big success, the businesses say, but they're expecting an even bigger turnout this weekend, especially now that Country Calling is a 3-day event.
Music lovers had a blast during last weekend's Oceans Calling Music Festival. But now that it's over, it's time to throw on the cowboy boots put on the hats, drive some horsepower into town, and get ready to saddle up and dance to all the country songs heading to Ocean City. And if it's anything like Ocean's Calling, businesses in town can't wait.
These festivals are putting us on the map.
Christina Russo is the owner of the Rideau Oceanfront near the inlet, which gives her customers a great view of the festival. And with rooms costing $600 a night, she says it's a win-win for everyone.
At the end of the season, this is when we can make some extra money and take it home.
We spoke with 2 other hotels in the area who say they also see a big boost in stays when these music festivals roll into town. As for restaurants, they tell us festivals like this give them a final surge of business before the season wraps up. At Fisher's Popcorn along the boardwalk, they expect even more customers this year.
Last year, Country's Calling was only a 2-day concert, and this year it's 3 days.
According to Ocean City Tourism and Business Development Director Tom Perlazzo, all 55,000 tickets were sold for the event, and he expects similar crowds to last weekend.
With the event going from a 2-day to a 3-day, we're just so happy that people are coming down for 4 days.
Although businesses are excited to see people walking into town, many say they're understaffed, but they're ready to work extra hard for the extra revenue before the busy season comes to a close.
That was Kevin Zappé reporting, and according to Tom Perlozzo, he's expecting the event to generate around $150 million in Ocean City. Coming up in sports tonight, the Delmarva Sports Network features an athlete who's putting in the work during the off-season to be at the top during the spring.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
The Food and Drug Administration approved a generic form of the abortion pill mifepristone just before the government shutdown. Avita Solutions made the announcement on its website confirming that the FDA had signed off on its generic form of the pill, which is approved to end pregnancies through 10 weeks. The FDA often issues a press release after new or significant drug approvals, but it did not in this case. The approval has prompted backlash from anti-abortion groups and conservatives. Bay Health is planning one of its biggest expansion projects in history. The 2-phase project will take place in both Kent and Sussex counties. Phase 1, at around $250 million, is aimed at expanding access to care and upgrading facilities. At the Kent campus location, leaders planning to add 6 floors and all private rooms. The Sussex campus plans include a new child care center and a new medical building.
Access to care is a challenge everywhere in this country, and we have a growing population in Delaware, especially in Sussex County. And Bay Health is doubling down on their commitment to our patients by doing these projects. We have to meet our patients' needs, and we have to do that by doing all these projects.
And so the project has been approved by the Health Resources Board. If final approvals move forward, construction could begin early next year.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. The Stephen Decatur lacrosse player is looking to level up this season. DSN's Ian Nicholas heads to Berlin to feature this week's player profile sponsored by the Athlete Academy.
Yeah, so I've been here since they opened 2018, 7 years ago.
I got to meet Tim long time ago when I was interning, and then I got to meet his parents when they came in and trained with me. So we did a 6-week challenge. Both parents came in and trained with me, and then we slowly just started building like a bond with the entire family.
Everybody here, it's like a culture, you know, you say fam, Athlete Academy is family. Everybody here brings each other up. If I'm having a bad day, Hunter's having a bad day, every trainer, every athlete, you know, it's just, we're a family here. We all work together. We all try to get to the biggest goal we can.
You may remember back in August, we profiled Tim's younger sister, Layla. Both Hamrock siblings trust the Athlete Academy can push their lacrosse careers past Stephen Decatur.
Our staff is just really nice to talk to, you know, about college decisions, and it's not like a military program or anything, you know, you just have fun, work out.
With Tim still just a junior at Stephen Decatur, these two will be there for one another at the Athlete Academy for years to come. Reporting from Berlin, Ian Nicholas, DSN.
That over sports. Have a great night, everybody.
Well, it's week 5 in the NFL regular season, and we have Sunday Night Football right here on Coast TV. The New England Patriots are facing the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. and stay right here for Coast TV News following the game. Now here is a live look into Milford from Bay Health. We have one more check on the forecast for you after this.
Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Warming up over the weekend at near 80.
All right, thanks again, Paul, and thanks to you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11 tonight. You can always find more news and weather over on our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon's up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.